you became a partner at YC in 2011, right?
Part-time partner.
A part-time partner. But you were always advising startups, even when you weren't officially a part-time partner. You're always in the fold. Then in 2014, we asked you to take over YC as president when Paul retired. And so it was 2014, which is now 10 years ago. My God. And I remember like one of the interesting changes that you brought was you started hand recruiting startups for YC. And Paul and I and Robert and Trevor never did that. Like we could barely keep up with the inbound applications. Do you remember what were some of the startups that you talked to back then, and how did you find them?
PG did hand recruit a little bit. Like I remember he would sometimes say like
Really?
that he'd see something on the internet and he would like email the founder, or he would ask me to email the founder and say like, this seems really interesting. We should, Replit was one of these actually, where PG noticed it and said, this seems great. Like, can you go hunt them down?
Many years later, he had already retired though.
Yeah. But I my memory is he did some of that like early on. No?
I don't think he did.
All right.
I mean, maybe we'd meet some people here and there, but it really wasn't a concerted effort at all. Sometimes he'd be like, oh, you should apply to YC, but that was it. But you also brought in like hard tech companies and some biotech.
So, my memory of this is, it could be a little bit wrong, but PG said something like, we already knew or were already connected to or proactively invited to apply many of the best companies that had gone through YC. They were friends of somebody already in the program. They were referred to us by somebody in the program. They were like, he had a story like,
yeah, that's true.
He had a story like this about the Collisons, and he said you should do more things like that. And also, before I was the president of YC, like one of the ways that I thought I could help the most was to like just find the good companies and get them to do YC. Because so much, like as we all know, you know, just getting the best founders is so much of the battle. And if you have great founders, they usually do great work. So
one example, Helion, Summer 14. I'm actually reviewing documents for them right after this podcast. So that's one that you brought in, right?
Yeah.
That's
well,
nice.
I was very excited about energy and fusion in general. And so as like part of the recruiting push, I went to go visit all of the private fusion companies. I don't remember if it was the world or in the US. I think it was just the US, but there were only 4.
Yeah.
Shocking. 10,000 photo sharing apps started that year, and 4 fusion companies in existence. And I went to visit them all, and I thought Helion was like by far the best, and so recruited them to do YC. But yeah, the idea was, they're doing great, by the way. That's been really fun.
Yeah. I know.
The idea was that like if really it's the best companies that matter, then we should be willing to spend a lot more effort trying to go find them and get them into the program. And I really enjoyed that part of the job. That was always like that was just fun to like go out and do that.